Hi, welcome to the channel. Jake, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing Crawford fans now picking Canelo, and Floyd Mayweather thought he ate, and Bill Haney supports Floyd. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button and let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the video. Shout out to everybody joining me today for the Sunday wrap-up show where we talk about some things that that stuck to me throughout the week. Just recap some things. But mainly today, we're going to be talking about Bud and Canelo because that's the big fight coming up. That's what everybody want to talk about, even though, I'm starting to see some people changing their mind a little bit, right? You got the Bud people that's just Bud all the way. You know what we call them? The walk on water fans. That's what we call them. Those Bud. You got those Bud walk on water fans. and they just feeling like it's nothing Canelo can do. Bud gonna fight him on the inside, but he gonna stay out of range and all of this other stuff. And Canelo slow and Canelo on the decline, and all the fights Canelo had gonna catch up to him, and Crawford gonna destroy him. He ain't got no feet. He can't move no more. He got an injured shoulder. All these things I keep hearing the rundown on Canelo, and I'm like, damn, like y'all telling me, some of y'all, that if Bud beat Canelo, he gonna be one of the greatest of all time, top 5, top 10. But then you say the person he gonna beat to accomplish this feat got all these things wrong with him, and he injured, and he can't move his feet, and he ain't never been good, and he been pulling people, all of this stuff. And I'm like, you guys, you cannot have it both ways, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying if I agree or disagree with the whole he'll be the greatest of all time, that's your 2 cents, you entitled to that. But I'm just trying to make it a point that you don't get to be the greatest of all time, top 5 or top 10, if you're not fighting a great opponent. Listen. You cannot be considered a greatest of all time if you're not fighting great opponents, guys. You don't get to be the greatest of all time because people ducked you. You don't get to be the greatest of all time because people duck you. You may have a skill to be, or you may look like you could be, but if the people don't fight you, then we can't say you're the greatest of all times. I mean, it's unfortunate, but you can't get credit for being great when people ducking you, in my opinion. That's my 2 cents. Some of y'all may disagree with that. And secondly, in my opinion, honestly, shout out to Kurt Hurd with the $10 in the Cash App. He says, just cuz. Yeah, y'all be sure to hit the Cash App, $ 2 cents boxing, or let me know and drop it below in the Cash App your 2 cents as we go throughout the show. Be sure to punch the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. So, and then that just leads me to my next topic, right? Seriously. Let's be honest. I don't think any fighter right now, and some people may argue Usyk because he's a cruiserweight and he was able to go be undisputed at heavyweight, and you could have an argument. That'll be a different conversation. I just think that a cruiserweight moving up to heavyweight and becoming undisputed just shows how weak the heavyweight division is right now. But that's my 2 cents, and that's another conversation. We can talk about that another day. I'm saying I don't see, especially at the smaller divisions, the 54. It's an argument for 54 maybe. But 47, 35, 30, I don't really think that the level of competition right now in this era at this time that any of these fighters could qualify as a quote unquote greatest of all time. But that's just my 2 cents. I'm just saying, as far as fighting in the ring competition. Now it's other things you can do in boxing. You can make the money, you can do this and that, and you can be considered great in those type of things based off type of business you do, the type of money you're able to make. But I'm just talking based off of pure competition. Even if one fighter beat everybody that everybody want to see them fight and all of this stuff, even if they do that, I still don't think that none of these fighters could qualify as a greatest of all time, maybe the greatest of an era. Maybe the greatest of an era. I know Big Dog Willie, they telling me YouTube not sending my notifications out. I don't know why. I don't know why. Shout out to Big Dog Willie with the $2 in the super chat. He says Jake Paul versus Tank is Tankamaniac's kryptonite. Facts. Shout out to Big Dog Willie. Oh, I don't know about that, Big Dog Willie. Like I said, I really don't have an issue with the Tank Jake Paul fight. But that's what I'm saying. So I mean, it's like, to me, just to give my 2 cents, if Bud beats Canelo, kudos to him, congratulations. It's not gonna change my opinions that I have about, like, nothing for me is gonna change if Bud beats Canelo. Honestly, I'm gonna feel the same way I felt about Bud. Okay, congratulations, he went up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo. That's great, but none of it's gonna make me be like, oh, Bud, great, he beat Canelo. Oh, but like, none of that is gonna make me do any of that. Even if Charlo would have beat Canelo, I wouldn't have been like, oh, Charlo's so great. Like, I wouldn't have felt like that. I wouldn't have felt like that. Maybe my standard's too high. I don't know. But kudos to Bud if he's able to go up 3 weight classes and defeat the undisputed champion in that division. That'll be a great feat for him to do. It'll be something great for boxing. They haven't seen anything like that in a while. But him being an all-time great or top 5 or top 10 or him being the greatest, one fight is not going to make me feel that way. You get what I'm saying? But that's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know and drop it below. That's just what I think. But let me run through this real quick, and I'm going to drop the link because I might just only be on here like an hour and a half today because I got to do my daughter's hair. So I'm on the internet, right? I got to play this for y'all. And I'm watching, and I see Bill Haney pop up. And they talking about, oh, Bill Haney got something to say about the Floyd Mayweather-Mike Tyson fight. I'm like, oh, shoot, let me click on this because I'm thinking Bill about to go in. Y'all know how Bill do. Let me show y'all what Bill had to say. Let me find the video real quick. And it just shows that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. To me, this just shows how much people just really want to take digs and jabs at Tank for something that they would absolutely do themselves. That's what I don't be understanding. But here we go. Let's check it out real quick. And then y'all let me know and drop below y'all 2 cents because I was shocked.
Let's kill some of this propaganda. And more importantly, let's talk about the biggest and most important exhibition in boxing right now. Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson. Now you're talking about a real exhibition amongst 2 legends that deserve to get plenty of money together. Let's break records. Let's everybody go out and support a real exhibition amongst 2 legends. This is how the game is supposed to go. We don't need to confuse them with the other fighters and all that. Shout out to Floyd and shout out to Mike. Let it check more money than the what's that place where they print the money? The Mint. Let it check more money than the Mint can print. You know what I mean? Yeah. May they check more money than the Mint can print. A real exhibition amongst 2 legends in the sport of boxing. How could that be something wrong with that?
Look at Big Dog Willie. I thought Bill didn't like Floyd. Y'all remember when Floyd and Bill was beefing? Now they cool. Now he encouraging it. Now he encouraging Floyd and Mike Tyson. I know y'all remember when they was beefing. Let me play a short clip for y'all just to remind y'all. So yeah, what y'all think? Let me know and drop below what y'all think about that. Bill Haney supporting Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let me find this clip real quick. I thought it was strange. I know y'all remember this phone call right here.
You need help with your son? Have I ever needed your help for anything?
You need some help with your son?
For some help?
You need some help the other motherfucking night? You need some help the other night? You need some help with your son?
Listen, your son need help tonight, not the other night.
You need some help with
Your son needs help tonight, you fool-ass earth man. Your son needs help tonight. Your daughter needs help tonight, you fool-ass earth man. Do not campaign. Everybody needs. Listen, my son needs.
You need some help? You need some help with your son?
Have I ever needed your help?
Y'all remember when they was on the internet beefing? You need some help? You need some help with your son? Now let's support the exhibitions, and like they going through great. Like Bill want to hate on Tank so bad that he's willing to support Floyd Mayweather fighting Mike Tyson. And I don't know. I can't decide like what is Floyd's deal, but I don't think that the Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather announcement really did what he thought it was going to do. Like, if you look at the numbers on and people watching it and all of that, like people, I mean, it's Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Of course, people going to watch it. Okay, boom, they fighting, let's watch it. But it's not nothing that everybody going to be stopping the internet all excited to see. We've already, nobody want to see you fighting Jake Paul leftovers. We've already seen Mike Tyson old self in the ring pulling punches with Jake Paul. And from my understanding, Mike Tyson don't even like Floyd Mayweather. He might get in there and try to knock knock Floyd Mayweather out for real. But I just want to bring that up. Just to kind of show y'all, like, and it's a lot of people, on their moral high ground. Oh, you should do this and you should do that and this and that. But like I keep saying, listen, I can give my opinion about something, but I don't have heavy criticism for somebody when I would do the same thing. And I don't understand how these other fighters got this heavy criticism when they would also do the same thing. Like, that's my only issue I keep having with everything. And so now everybody's coming out and they on their high horse and everybody's better than Tank and Tank ain't fought nobody and this and that and this and that. And I just be thinking, like, if we gave off, and everybody keeps saying, oh, well, everything should be even across the board, right? We should scrutinize all the fighters even across the board. But they only keep trying to give one set of standards for a fighter to ascend to, because they know that those are the things that the fighters haven't done yet. Like, oh, you ain't unified. Oh, you ain't did this. Oh, you ain't did that. But what if we flip the standard and start holding fighters to the standards that Tank Davis is held to? Oh, you better sell out. Oh, you better break gate records. Oh, you better do pay-per-view. You need to do a million pay-per-view by fighting your career. Like, do y'all see how that work? You could easily flip the standards and hold those standards to somebody else that ain't doing it, so you can criticize and talk shit about them. You could do the same thing. It could go both ways. That's the only point that I'm trying to make. Pool Counter Boxing say, I just wish Tank could have done the Jake Paul fight after he destroyed Lamar Roach. I mean, I feel you. I'm sure everybody wish he would have did that. And he tried, though. That's the thing. He tried. He got into whatever he got into, legal troubles with the baby mama and all that, and he wasn't able to pull it off. If y'all go to my channel, I have a video on there. Let me see what the name of it is so y'all can go watch it. I think it's called The Truth. The Real Reason Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul is next. Y'all go check out that video where Big Dog Willie and Jube are explaining in the video what went on and why the Jake Paul fight happened and why the Lamar Roach rematch didn't take place like it was supposed to. You heard people mentioning they were supposed to be on undercards of the fight and all of that. So, I mean, just things happened and it wasn't able to happen. It wasn't able to happen. But like I said before, man, we can't control none of these fighters. You can, have your opinions and your criticisms, but you got to move on. A lot of y'all are holding this so close to y'all heart. Like y'all feelings is so hurt. It's like the boxing community feelings is so hurt that Tank didn't rematch Roach, and people feelings are so hurt that not everybody believe that Terrence Crawford can walk on water. Why is everybody so emotional about these two topics? Next Saturday, September 13th, it all goes down. Hopefully, we get a regular fight. It ain't no crazy controversy. I already hear him saying the judges should be replaced and the judges gonna cheat, and Canelo already up 4 rounds. So if we already know that, it shouldn't be no controversy after the fight, right? It shouldn't be no snotting, screaming, crying, none of that. We already know all the things that Bud is up against. He got to beat snack allegations. He got to overcome judges. He got to overcome Canelo's size. He got to, like, Bud got a lot of things to overcome in order to win this fight. He coming off a long layoff. He had an injury while he was laid off, allegedly. Bud fighting a real fighter, unlike someone we know. So what's your point, Han? Like, what's your point? Can you tell me why you saying that? What is that supposed to mean? What does that have to do with the conversation? What is your point? Does Bud want a cookie because he's fighting a real fighter? Like you say. Like, y'all keep acting like that because Tank fighting an exhibition. Now all of a sudden, anybody fighting like it makes him better, or they on some better moral high ground, or like it doesn't mean anything, guys. It doesn't. You're not making no point. You're not insulting nobody. Like, you just showing how emotional you are and the fact that you just can't move on. We've already talked about it. You've already cried about it. You've already trolled about it. Let it go. Hannibal, I might have to time you out today. Seriously. I'm not in the mood. What's up, Santos? Like, we don't know Tank is in a clown show. But let's talk about this Crawford fight, though, right? I asked people yesterday or last time we was up here, can we name some flaws that Terrence Crawford has that Canelo may be able to take advantage of? And the people on my panel that I was asking, they did not even want to say no flaws that Crawford had. So I'm gonna ask the chat, what are some flaws and things? What are some flaws and things that Crawford have that he's gonna have to be able to overcome or work on, or Canelo's gonna be able to take advantage of him? Of course, the size is gonna be one. Allegedly, they saying Crawford really bigger than Canelo, but the size will be one. I'm about to drop the link, but I want to find this video real quick because I'm about to show y'all something I noticed. Let me see what y'all saying in this chat. Defense. Bud doesn't have the best defense. His defense is overrated, Queen. Okay. Defense. Oh, we getting some real answers today. Defense. Bud Crawford don't have to discipline to try not to get his get back right away. Okay. Size and power is the only thing you can think of, Teach. So Bud don't get hit with that straight right. Yep, here we go. Finally, straight right lead. Crawford get hit with lead shots. He also get hit with left hooks. I gotta find that video where Crawford was with the little pool noodles and he was like punching and slipping, punching and slipping. Every time he was punching and slipping, Crawford was dropping that right hand. He was, every time he was punching and slipping. Y'all remember he was doing it real fast, punching, slipping. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Every time he was punching and slipping, he was dropping that right hand every time. So I think that if he try to fight in range and slip and counter, he gonna get hit. He kept getting hit with them straight right hands, fool. And I think another thing that people don't realize in that Madrimov fight, he came on strong in the last 3 rounds. I think they were saying that was what Madrimov's first 12-round fight or his second 12-round fight or something like that. Madrimov wasn't used to fighting 12 rounds. So that's why like the last 3 rounds, he was out of there. That's all I'm saying. Turkey still talking about boots. Come on, man. And have y'all noticed? Let me talk about this real quick. Have y'all noticed that everybody's ducking Virgil Ortiz? Have y'all noticed that? Like, y'all do know Crawford duck Virgil, Boots duck Virgil, Thurman duck Virgil, Charlo duck Virgil. Is Virgil the boogeyman? Is Virgil the boogeyman, y'all? I'm just asking. Because I'm starting to notice a pattern. I'm starting to notice a pattern that everybody is ducking Virgil. And the latest person to duck Virgil was Charlo. Jermell Lyons only Charlo. They say that's the latest person to duck Virgil. Now, I came out and told y'all. So, Boxing Hacker, you remember I think it might have been, what was that fight Virgil had where he got dropped twice? And Turkey was doing an interview and he was like, we offered Crawford to fight Virgil, but Crawford said he didn't want the fight. And I don't know if you remember, but I was joking then. I was like, Crawford just ducked Virgil. Nobody's saying nothing. Why nobody saying nothing? And it was like, oh, he trying to get the Canelo fight. He want bigger fights. He want better fights. He ain't got to fight Virgil. He could beat Virgil. He'll stop Virgil. That was all the time. Like, okay, whatever. Right? I was joking, but because I was like, I mean, Crawford don't really got to fight Virgil, right? Yeah, I wasn't tripping about it, but I was just joking. Like, he ducked him. You see, Turkey offered them the fight. He ain't take it. That's a duck. So, boom, you got that. And then I told y'all when Turkey came out and had this whole campaign about Boots ducking Virgil, I told y'all that was cap. Because the length of time that Boots had just fought twice within like a 2 or 3 month period or something like that. They wanted him to fight like a month and a half later or 2 months later or something like that. And he would have had 3 fights in the short. It was a whole lot that went with it. I made a video. Go check it out. But it was this whole campaign all of a sudden that Boots ducked Virgil. And then as we go on, ever since Boots been at 54, it seems like he's been attaching his name to all the big fighters at 54, trying to paint a picture that they ducked him. That's what I'm saying. Like, are y'all starting to see a pattern? Because don't Virgil got a fight with Lubin coming up? So how are you sending Charlo an offer and he's ducking you? Now, Charlo could be ducking Virgil. I don't know. I'm just giving my 2 cents about the situation. Because we did see Charlo come out with the hit list. He had Fundora, he had Earl, he had Virgil, and he had Bud. If I missed anybody, let me know. So I don't know why people, as soon as Virgil offers somebody a fight and he come out and say, oh, I offer them a fight, they turn it down. It's like a campaign to create these fighters as ducks, more so certain fighters than others. Because sometimes people can turn down a fight. And this is what I want people to understand, right? Especially the 2 centers. Just because somebody's offered a fight and they don't take it, there are several other reasons that fighters don't take fights. The first reason is not always they scared or they can't win. You got to think about it. Charlo coming off a long layoff. We don't know what Charlo plans are. We don't know if they offer Charlo enough money to take the fight. We don't know if they offer Charlo the terms and conditions that he will feel comfortable taking the fight. We don't know if Charlo want to go fight on Golden Boy, on their platform, on the zone. We don't know if Charlo wants to do any of that. But before we even take any of that into consideration, we just all of a sudden like, oh, Charlo ducking. He called out all those people. Charlo don't want no smoke. What besides the Canelo fight, at what point in Charlo's career did he ever make y'all feel like he don't want no smoke or he was ducking somebody? I know a lot of people saying, oh, well, Charlo ducked him too, but he was injured. He had a hand injury. And that's another thing that people don't talk about. When he went to go fight Canelo, he was coming off, an 18, 19-month layoff and a broken hand injury. So he coming off a long layoff, hand injury, and moving up in weight. And then y'all want to, now all of a sudden, y'all want to act like Charlo ain't no dog. He still ain't the best fighter at 154 pounds. And then he ducking Virgil Ortiz. That's what I'm just asking. I just feel like that needs to stop. Like that whole, like this is a business. Boxing is about timing. Boxing is about opportunity. Boxing is about so many other things than just calling somebody and asking them for a fight. And then y'all be going hard at these fighters. Oh, they ducking. They got teams. They got teams advising them. They got people making deals for them. They may want to fight somebody and they can't because it's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that go into play. So you got to look at each situation as much as you can and the facts surrounding the situation as much as you can before you just be like somebody ducking. I heard somebody talking about AJ and Wilder earlier. I think there was like $100 million on the line for that fight, right? A lot of back and forth and this and that. Bottom line, in my opinion, I felt like AJ ducked Wilder. That's a situation where I felt like there was a duck. The money was there. The fight would have been for undisputed. The legacy was there. Everything was there except AJ didn't want to fight Deontay Wilder, right? Whatever reason, Eddie Hearn ain't want, whatever they wanted to do, to me, in my opinion, I would be like, okay, well, I feel like AJ ducked Wilder based off what I know. Y'all get what I'm saying? So before we just jump out the window, and because it's like y'all couldn't wait to find something to get on Charlo just so y'all could start trying to diss and hate and all of this is coming just from the Canelo fight because he went up 3 weight classes off the long layoff and the injury and all that, and he didn't perform. He didn't get knocked out, basically. Like y'all mad Charlo didn't get knocked out. He went up there. He did what he thought he could do. He realized he was overmatched, probably bit off more than he could chew. And he did what he had to do to survive the fight. So he can come back down to his division and go for another run or fight big fights for money or whatever that he is that he decides to do without being damaged because he wanted to prove something to the fans. Like, I'm not finna get knocked out to prove something to the fans. Y'all stop acting like y'all don't know I'm not in here off a long layoff and an injury. Clearly, I'm overmatched. If that was anybody else, it would have been, oh, well, he dared to be great. Let Bud Crawford go up there and run around. Y'all don't think Bud gonna go up there and run around, but what if he do? I don't want to hear no he dared to be great. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He not gonna get away with that. Not over here on 2 Cents Boxing. No, I'm gonna make sure I point out the hypocrisy. He said, I'm glad he didn't get knocked out. I think people thought Jermell was another level in our minds. But you see what I'm saying, Paul? I don't think that Jermell is not the level in our minds. When you coming off them long layoffs and injuries, and then you doing something like moving up weight divisions to fight the undisputed in that division, I mean, these ain't fighters. You know what I'm saying? These ain't fighters from the 70s and the 80s. These are not those type of fighters, y'all. They not. I ain't saying none of them can. Maybe Bud Crawford can, but they not overcoming stuff like that. You know, he went up there, he got his bread. His brother was supposed to take the fight. They didn't take the fight. He went up there and he got his bread. But people want to discredit Jermell Charlo's whole career off of that one fight. And I don't think that that's fair, in my opinion. Because if Bud Crawford go up there and get knocked out by Canelo, nobody gonna discredit Bud's whole career. They gonna say what? He dared to be great. That's what they gonna say. That's what they're going to say. And I don't have no problem with that. He daring to be great. It's a money grab, whatever. He daring to do a great money grab, whatever the case may be. If he tries to be safe and don't risk it all and quote unquote go out on his shield, that's the standard I'm going to need him to be held up to. That's all I'm saying. So we'll see. And I think a lot of reason why people not really just so amped for this fight like that is because we've already seen Canelo pull up a smaller guy. Like everybody already been complaining about Canelo pulling up smaller guys. I don't think Bud is part of the reason why this fight ain't as big, because he just don't got no big fan base like that. But I think Canelo is also part of the reason why this fight not as big, is because people tired of seeing you pulling up these fighters. People got one fighter they want you to see. That's Benavidez. Anything outside of that, people is getting irritated with that. We just seen you pull up Charlo. We seen how that fight went. We just seen you run around the ring with Skull. Everybody was pissed at you for that fight. The people that watched it. Because Turkey damn near made you disappear, Canelo. Nobody even talk about you getting undisputed again from that fight. I still have not heard nobody mention it. I'm the only person that been talking about Canelo getting undisputed again after he fought William Skull. I have not heard nobody else talking about that. Bud does not have a bigger fan base than Charlo, Hannibal. Cut it out. He does not have a bigger fan base than Charlo. Why do you think that? $2 cents. This fight is huge. I don't know why you think it's not big. I don't know why you think it is big. I don't know why you think it is big. This fight is not huge, Boxing Hacker. It might be huge to you as a fan, but as far as general public in real life, it's not huge. It's not a huge fight. It's not. And I keep hearing people say, "Oh, Netflix better make sure it don't be buffering and messing up like it was during the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight." I doubt 65 million people watch this fight. Poor kind of say Canelo fights up to his competition, 2 cents, which is why he will be different against Crawford. Yeah, I mean, Paul, you've been hearing how these people talking about Crawford in this fight. I just feel like they've been a little bit unrealistic, or maybe I've been missing something all these years. Maybe I've been missing it. And I will say this, if Crawford goes and washes Canelo, I think he's been doing his fans a great disservice his whole career. Because if Crawford is that big and Crawford is that good, he should have been moved up and gave his fans better fights and more competitive fights. He should have been did that. If he goes up and washes Canelo because he's been that big and been that good, he has been tricking the game for too long. He the one that's been tricking the game for too long. But I don't hear nobody saying that. He's the one that's been tricking the game for too long. He's the one that's not been giving his fans competitive fights. He's the one that been fighting in smaller weight classes, fighting lesser competition so he can get undisputed championships and all that. He's the one that did that. If he goes up there and watches Canelo because he's so good and so big all this time, he been so good and so big all this time that he could have fought at the 168 division and been the undisputed champion. He should have been giving y'all fights in that division then. I'm just saying. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. I'm just saying. That's just my 2 cents about the situation. He could at least, if he can go up to 168 and beat the undisputed champion at 168, he could have fought the fighters at 54 instead of ducking the division. This fight has been everywhere mainstream. No, it hasn't. From Denzel Washington to Netflix, has been everywhere with it. Morning national radio and TV talk shows has been promoting this fight. Everlast has put big promo. Okay. We're gonna see y'all. Cause somebody sent me the ticket sales. Somebody sent me the ticket sales and showing that the resellers or whoever had bought some of the tickets just, I don't know what they do, dump them back or sell them back or whatever. So now it's like all these tickets and all these seats open in the stadium now. It looks crazy. It's nowhere near as sold as y'all think it is. It's really not. And everybody keep thinking, and people think I'm funny when I'm saying this, but ice is real, especially in Vegas. Canelo has a huge Mexican fan base. They not finna be fooling around in Vegas, y'all. I'm just telling y'all. But we'll see. We'll see what the numbers read. I know people going to the fight. They're gonna give me pictures and videos and let me know. 2 cents. Who you think the most skilled fighter Bud beat and Canelo beat, and the harder puncher they beat? The most skilled fighter. The most skilled fighter Bud beat. I don't know. That's hard to say. The most skilled. Chad, let me know your 2 cents. What y'all think about these questions? And who is the hardest puncher? Who's a highly skilled? I thought Spence was pretty skilled, but he didn't fight him. It's not a matter of if they were skilled or not. It's just a matter of when he fought them. And Mayweather, of course, will be the most skilled person that Canelo's ever fought. You think Madrimov is the most skilled person? So hold on, pool counter. You think a person with 11 professional fights is the most skilled person that Bud has ever fought? That's crazy. At 2 cents boxing, a lot of people will watch the fight because it's free on Netflix. No one has to steal it. The live gate will not do good. We'll see how I do. But I know 60 million people ain't watching it like they watched Tyson and Jake Paul. I know that for sure. Laura was also skilled for Canelo. But see, y'all keep thinking that you gotta have footwork. Y'all only, a lot of people only view skill in boxing as like, if I got a lot of footwork and this and that. Like that don't necessarily mean just because you don't do that, you're not skilled. You could be a skilled pressure fighter. You could be a skilled knockout artist. You could be a skilled, you get what I'm saying? Like, just because you don't fight like Shakur Stevenson don't mean you're not skilled. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not a Shakur Stevenson type fighter, that don't mean you're not skilled. It's different type of styles in boxing, and you can be skilled at your style. So it's kind of hard to be like, who is the most skilled? Because, it all depends. Boxing is very subjective. It could be, you may not be as skillful as a fighter, but you could have a better corner, and then they put together a better game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different things to boxing skill doesn't just always make you win. And that's why everybody like, oh, well, Bud is more skilled than Canelo. You know, skills pay the bills. I even heard somebody say Canelo only has one way to beat Bud. Bud got a bunch of different ways he can beat Canelo. Why do y'all think Canelo only has one way to beat Bud? Like, why are y'all not recognizing the skill that Canelo has? Canelo has skills, y'all. Is he as skilled or more skilled than Bud? I don't know. I don't know if he's more skilled or has more skill than Bud. I don't know. We're going to see. Just because fighters have different styles don't mean that they're not skilled. That's basically all I'm trying to say. And then I had something else real quick I wanted to say, but I don't know if I want to talk about that because that's Devin Haney. I'm about to drop the link so we can come up here and chit chat about this Bud situation, this Bud fight, because it's fight week. That go to link. I think people know Canelo has skills. I think it's the way Canelo looked against Scully. I mean, yeah, that was one fight though. And I know you only as good as your last performance. Cool, but if we're honest, neither one of them had the greatest of performances they last fight. But we got the top. Hey, it's getting close. It's getting close. Y'all come on up here. Let's do panel for a little bit for a hop off. I'm trying to keep the conversation going, trying to keep it hype for the fight. I'm gonna find this clip of Bud doing these exercises with these, and he looked uncomfortable too with these pool noodles. I don't understand why. Oh, this is a nice picture. Let's pull this up. Let's do some comparisons of side by side. I don't understand. I don't know. All right, that go Bud from 2017 to 2025. And they were saying that Bomac just came out and basically said, we got Pool Counter Boxing on the panel. What's going on, Pool?
What's going on, 2 cents?
With the intro. Here go Bud in 2017 and here go Bud in 2025. Now, Pool, let me get your 2 cents on something real quick, right? What do you think about me saying if Bud goes up to 168 pounds and washes Canelo, he really has been doing his fans a disservice?
Oh, I can agree to that. I can agree to that. Bud always kind of, underplayed his hand. A lot of these fighters should have been fighting at 154, starting out at 154 like EJ, and they should have been fighting in the middleweight division. But what they did was they bored themselves down to the lower weight division to have that advantage because they're really big guys that got the discipline to cut the weight. You know what I'm saying? Except for maybe Bud, he does have a smaller frame. Maybe he would have started at 147, not 154. But like you said, if it's true that they were able to pack on the pounds, I do believe that's a disservice. You know what I'm saying? Because we could have had him, fight Triple G. Could have had EJ against Triple G. A lot of fights could have been made. Jermell Charlo fight could have been a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with that. I do agree with that. You always make a lot of sense in your 2 cents.
Shout out Shelton Moore and Rich on the panel. But Pool Counter, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this fight here, I do believe it's a big fight, 2 cents. Nobody really asked for Bud versus Canelo. I do think it's a big fight because I think Bud Crawford captured the imagination. He's the underdog. He's always played the underdog. but in this fight, he's actually the underdog. And, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of, he's one of those special athletes that, you know, got a lot of athletic abilities, got quick hands. And there's a lot of myth that comes behind Bud Crawford, you know, playing the underdog. You know, he never got his just due coming up through the ranks. And he's got a loyal following that wants to see him succeed. You got Andre Ward out there, you know what I'm saying, one of the top gold medalists that went undefeated himself, you know what I'm saying, backing him. You got Tim Bradley. You got a lot of world champions that's pushing Bud. They're promoting him, you know what I'm saying, from different stages. I think Andre Ward is going to be table side. So when he start talking that crap, you know Ward is going to be speaking up for Bud Crawford. So there's he's got this underdog type of support. It's a swelling of support, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to get on board. A lot of people believe in Canelo. He's been around for years. He's been the popular king of boxing for the last 10 to 15 years, something like that. So he's got an uphill battle, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to being the leader in this fight. But there's a lot of Mexicans that are afraid that everything might be true, that we might be seeing the last of Canelo, that he is in decline. I do believe that Crawford is gonna give him a good fight. He might get knocked out. That's a possibility. But Bud don't have anything to lose. And the most dangerous fighter, you know what I'm saying, to come across is that fighter who don't have nothing to lose. You know, Kell Brook didn't have nothing to lose when he fought Triple G. That's why he did it. You know what I'm saying? When you moving up weight classes, you got a built-in excuse. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's true. You know, he did dare to be great, you know, and it's expected for the smaller man to lose to the bigger man. So, but I think Canelo has a lot to lose as far as his legacy. Having a small man come up there and Bud is able to outpoint him and able to outbox him, you know, Bud's going to try to humiliate Canelo, and Canelo understands this. You know, Bud has a nasty attitude. He has a nasty attitude, and I love it. He told Canelo the other day, I'm going to stomp a mud hole in your, I don't know if I can say that on your channel, a mud hole in your behind, right?
What?
And he said it with attitude. He told Canelo, I ain't scared of shit. You know what I'm saying? He said that with such conviction. I said, okay, boy, my spirit kind of jumped. Well, I almost caught the Holy Ghost. I was like, what? I said, he coming up with that attitude? I said, Bud, man, this is going to be good. And I don't know if, the Turkey Al-Rashid was like, man, we need y'all to talk a little bit more trash. We paying you $50 million. We need you to come out of character. You know what I'm saying? We need you to sell this fight, you know? And that's what kind of Canelo was kind of like, you know, doing, kind of preluding to, you know what I'm saying? When he was talking about Al-Rashid told him to say something or whatever. I was like, Canelo, stop with that old broken English immigrant stuff. You speak better English than me. You know what I'm saying? I be hating that shit. That shit be getting on my goddamn nerves.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, stop that. I don't know, your English is a little, I mean, boy, if you don't stop that stuff, man, we heard you speak straight English, bro. You know, but he plays it well, and Crawford is just, he ain't having none of it. You know, what's the percentage would you give Crawford to win this fight? If you had to put a percentage on it, what would the percentage be?
I would say 30%.
So you definitely don't think he's got a chance to win. You know, so you definitely think he's gonna lose this thing.
I mean, he got a chance. I'm just going off of history, right? Like fighters up. He coming off a long layoff. He older. I don't know if necessarily him putting on this muscle and all that. I'm not sure how beneficial it would be. I don't know how his conditioning gonna look. It's just a lot of questions, right?
But let me ask you this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I didn't even think Charlo was gonna beat Canelo. And I felt like Charlo was a better boxer than Canelo. Like, he should theoretically be able to outbox him, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it. And even if he do it, I don't know if he's gonna get a decision from the judges.
You already know that. If it's a close fight, Crawford has no chance of winning. You know, we've seen Canelo get battered and they tried to make it a draw. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Canelo never loses a close decision. We've seen the Laura fight, Austin Trout fight. Um, he's just not going to lose a close decision. We've seen the Mayweather fight. You know what I'm saying? They tried to make that fight close. And I don't even know how he got around out of that fight. So he definitely got the judges. He's got the politics in line. So whatever Crawford's going to do, he's going to have to do it. You know, he's going to have to do it well. He's going to have to go out there and dominate Canelo, I think, to get the victory. Does that mean he's got to go all out? Because from what Breadman was saying that Crawford is going to go in there and try to bully Canelo. I said, I got to see that. You know, he thinks Crawford is going to try to bully him. You know what I'm saying? But maybe on the second half of the fight, maybe he's going to run around the ring and try to outpoint Canelo and put him in a desperate situation to where he has to take chances. And of course, you know, Bud Crawford is a sharpshooter. You know, once a fighter get desperate, now Canelo is really dangerous when he have to pull out the win, when he have to pull out all the stops. He's throwing nothing but haymakers, bolos coming at you. But Crawford, he specializes in fighters coming at him. Long as he don't get hit by one of those Dragon Ball Z type shots, you know what I'm saying, that Canelo be throwing, I think he'll win this. You know, I think it's a small margin, but you know, I do give Crawford a 50% chance.
Okay. Shelton Moore, we're gonna pass the mic around. 50% chance. Okay, but you know what's with another thing too? I never hear people mention. I keep hearing people say, "Who has Canelo fought to prepare him for Crawford?" And I'm thinking in my head, like, who has Crawford fought to prepare him for Canelo? Bomac just told y'all he been bullying smaller guys his whole career, so he really ain't never fought nobody bigger than him. Mr. Shelton, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I just came through, see what y'all was talking about. Same old thing. Yeah, I give about 50% chance. It's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. But I don't know what Canelo's gonna show. I don't know what Bud is gonna show. So we gotta see, you know, fight night. I know they both talking this shit. I heard Bud tell Canelo, "I'm gonna stuff a mud hole in your ass. You're gonna be just like the rest of them." So Bud, and he meant that. You know, he said that, but he meant that. So we'll see. It sounds good. Can you pull it off? Canelo saying, "You never fought one elite fighter." Okay, well, I'm fighting one now. Since you want to call it that, I'm fighting one now.
Okay.
You know, everybody's talking about what Canelo did to this guy, what Canelo did to that guy. Can you do it to this guy? That's all I care about. I don't care about other shit. Can you do it to him?
Are you?
All right.
If you can't do it to him, what he did to Berlanga doesn't matter.
All right, we got the most hated, insane, and Sin Ironheart on the panel.
Nah, I've been hearing what people saying. Y'all all saying some good stuff. We done heard a few people. We like anytime Bud get into a fight with someone, that's gonna be what they bring up. And then when they lose, then it's a, you know what I'm saying. Earl Spence been saying that shit for years. That who at Bud fought. My resume this, that, and third. You ain't fighting nobody. And then you see what happened with the end. You know what I'm saying? What happens? So we gonna keep hearing that shit. But I got it. I really got a 50-50 fight, and the reason why I really got a 60-40 fight, Canelo winning, but I want Bud to win, so that's why I made it 50-50, and I really feel like Bud got a chance. You know what I'm saying? The way that y'all coming at him, not you in specifically like 2 cents, but just people coming at him like shit just can't happen. Y'all must got bad faith and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all really think that boxing is just win. This person gonna win. This person gonna win. Like shit can't happen. Shit can't change. Or anybody could get hit. Anybody got a puncher's chance. So that's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, it's boxing. Anything is possible. NHA, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
What's the word? All I'm gonna say is
What's up, NHA?
I'm cool, man. I was Gucci,
Shelton.
So
What's up with
as
you?
far as the
What's
whole
up with you?
Bud, this whole Bud, you know what I'm saying, doing a disservice to his fan by If he goes up and smokes Canelo, that's just like saying the all-time greats like Duran and Sugar Ray did a disservice to their fans by starting their careers at 135 instead of 168.
Hold
Both the
on, hold on. It
career, I
sounds like
mean,
somebody
oh
getting
damn.
kidnapped.
Oh no! I'm around a bunch of wild people out here. They
Oh,
out here,
okay.
Yeah,
young
go
ass
on mute.
kids
Go on mute when you're
out
not
here.
talking.
Go ahead, NHA.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's like saying Sugar Ray and Duran did a disservice to their fans by starting their careers at 135 instead of 168 and 175 respectively, where they ended their careers with some good wins. So I think it's kind of disingenuous to say that. If he goes up there, I think if he goes up and beats the shit out of Canelo or wins convincingly, he's gonna get all the praise. Ain't gonna be nobody gonna be like, oh damn, that motherfucker just was just weight bullying his way up to until he got to Canelo. Nah, they gonna look at it. He dared to be great. He moved up in weight like a lot of like like, like two of the all time greats I mentioned. He did what he did. So but as far as like the fight, I like, in a fight like this and shit with so many variables, I'll keep it at 50-50 until I see it, you know what I'm saying? I'm the type of motherfucker that shit, until the bell rings, I like to see, that's when I decide, okay, who the fuck is going to win. I'm rooting for Bud. We already know that, but I'm just going to keep it at 50-50 right now. It's not because they're both kind of like evenly matched when you bring in different variables. Canelo's a younger guy, but he has more wear and tear, went through more wars, more fights. But the older, but he don't drink, he don't smoke, he stays in the gym. He's always on fight mode, and we ain't seen him slack up, never. So it's 50-50 to me until they step in that, until that bell rings, and I see it maybe round three. Then I could kind of see where the fight's gonna go.
All right, all right,
That's
all
what I
right.
got.
And y'all be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Y'all know the goal. We need 100 likes before we get off the live, so the video can pop up and more people can join the conversation. The most hated. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Oh man, salute to everybody on the panel. What's going on with the two since I finally
What
caught
up?
you
What up? You
live?
call me. I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I'm already knowing. So like I said, I got Bud Crawford stopping this dude in like 8 or 9 rounds. Just off the fact that Bud got power in both hands. Bud is definitely skilled. This weight that Bud walking around with now is like pretty much a typical weight for him. Anyway, I think he was weight draining himself in those other fights. I know Bud's been plotting on Canelo for about the past year and a half, maybe 2 years. So he's been really scouting Canelo, what Canelo do good, what Canelo do bad, what looking at his old fights and what I'm saying, where he's vulnerable at. What I noticed about Bud Crawford in his whole career is when he got time to pick an opponent, per se like Canelo, let's say the Earl Spence shit, he watched Earl Spence for years. He watched where Earl Spence thrived at, and he seen where Earl Spence failed at. He picked the perfect time to fight Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? Whatever was going on with Spence at the time was going on with Spence, but he picked the perfect time. Can I go now? Okay, I'll go now. So he picked the perfect time to fight Earl Spence, and we all seen what happened. I was going with EJ when that happened. Bud Crawford is I know when people gonna say, Canelo might try to make it messy, Canelo gonna try to walk in, you know what I'm saying, hunt Bud down. You fuck around and hunt Bud down. I'm sorry for cussing. You mess around and hunt Bud down, you know what I'm saying? Bud got a left and a right with you with dynamite in both hands. Don't try to grapple with Bud too or all that clinching because Bud is a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So I believe when Bud come into this fight, I think Bud gonna come into this fight about a good 165, 166, somewhere in that. You know what I'm saying? Plus he got to cut down weight. We see his physique now, but I really feel like he's been training this whole time at a higher weight. You know what I'm saying? Fighting bigger people. You know what I'm saying? Just to get adjusted to the weight. You know what I'm saying? And we know Bo Mac come with a good game plan. We know Bud always execute the game plan. I'm not gonna be too long winded, but I got Bud stopping this dude in dramatic fashion because I seen what Canelo looked like. I seen what his body looked like last fight. He really couldn't deal with a mover. He really got touched up in that last fight, if we just being honest. And Bud is gonna just be a little bit better than the guy, a lot better than the guy that he fought last time. And that's what I got for you. That's my 3 cents on it.
All right, all right, all right. I feel you. Shout out to Thomas Hill and Isaiah. What you doing on the panel? Hold on.
What's up, Thomas? What's up, Thomas?
Ian Ironheart, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
What up with everybody, man? Seem like it's another day of me just sitting back listening to everybody make up these superpowers for Crawford. Try to act like this fight is more competitive than what the fuck it really is. First of all, the whole myth of the 50-50 fight. Now, I've never heard of so many 50-50 fights until Crawford got into the fucking mix. And personally, for me, I think it's 50-50 when you fight either an equal caliber of opponents or at least are carrying an equal weight load. I don't see how a fight could be 50-50 if somebody's fighting at 126, 135, and another guy's fighting at 170. And somehow these motherfuckers are 50-50. The math don't math like that. You know what I'm saying? But maybe none of these dudes graduated. Either way, then we got the whole scenario of Crawford being a sniper, being accurate, all that nonsense. So once again, I pose the question. Crawford in his last fight threw nearly 500 punches, 433 to be exact. He only landed 95 of them, which means he landed, less than 100 punches out of 500, which means he would need near 1,000 punches to land on a much more slick, a much more defensively sound Canelo. I don't see it happening. I even heard some idiot on the Angry Man podcast today. Shout out to those guys. But I heard some idiot on their podcast say that Madrimov is a better fighter than Canelo. This is the shit that I'm talking about. People will create all sorts of nonsense because the fight has been around long enough and people have been cycling their names long enough now that they can create all these unrealistic scenarios to make it sound like this dude is better than what he is, or make it sound like Canelo is worse than what he is. And, like I say, at the end of the day, I guess such is life. It's never too appalling. It's just another day of listening to a bunch of bullshit. So I'll just let somebody else take the floor, and see what else I can confront.
All right, saying Ironheart. Thomas Hill, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, first and foremost, shout out to you for giving us the platform. Shout out to my homie Poole. Always enjoy hearing his take. Shout out to the most hated. Shout out to my man Sheldon Moore. Shout out to Gervonta Paul, whoever that may be. Shout out to my main man Isaiah. Shout out to the homie Rich.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I got 2 cents. I want to have 1,000 words. So instead of using 1,000 words, I would like for you to load a picture because they say a picture is worth 1,000. There we go. I'm done.
Oh shit!
All right, let me see who next. Oh, Isaiah, what you doing? What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yep.
Yo, what up? Salute to the panel. Shout out my boy.
What's up?
Thomas. Yo, I just want to say, I think it's funny how I think I heard Insane say that Bud had power in both hands and that it's going to hurt Canelo. So why wasn't both them hands hurting Madrimov? That's just what I'm trying to figure out right now because people
Are you asking me a direct question? Or are you just saying?
Yo, bro. For one, somebody was laughing and you got upset. So
I asked you, was you asking me a direct question?
bro,
My bad. If you wasn't, I'll move back.
Nah, hold on. I'm still talking. I just find it very ironic and funny how people yet talk about the Earl ass whooping. And shout out to Bud for doing that. I had EJ. I didn't think he was gonna come in and dominate like that. But why are they so quick to brush off the Madrimov fight? And they're saying, oh, I believe that him at 168, this is gonna be the weight where he might even stop Canelo. Let's be realistic. When he fought Madrimov, what goes to say he wasn't 160 something pounds the day of the fight night? Let's just be honest. So I hear people saying it's a 50-50, 40-60, but in my eyes, I see it like a 30 a 30-70. You know, I just can't see Bud stopping Canelo. Yes, I get it. He has pinpoint accuracy, kind of like Tank. How his punches aren't they don't hurt as much, but he knows how to angle correctly to get the stoppage and really hurt you. So if Bivol couldn't even hurt Canelo and Bivol went 24 rounds with Arthur Beterbiev, what makes people believe that Bud is gonna actually hurt or stop Canelo? As a matter of fact, 2 Cent put the picture up and I'm done talking.
Hey, hold on. Let me say something to this guy
Hold
real
on,
quick.
hold on. Let me get the drop real quick.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, you good pretty much in anything you do. I will give you that.
But if I got
you will cheat. You will cheat.
Hey, look, hey, like you said, I'm cheating for no reason.
You will cheat.
Let me say something
Hey,
to
can I
that
say
guy.
one thing?
Let me say something to that guy Isaiah real quick.
Go ahead, Rich.
All right, cause I know he's like a vicious person that like to.
You're not gonna call names,
I'm
Rich.
not.
Just say what you got to say.
I'm not calling no names.
How am I vicious and you don't even know me, Rich?
But
Stop it.
I know
Stop
that
it, brother.
I noticed
Let Rich
he
talk
like.
his shit.
Let me talk. I noticed he like to hate on people a lot. Like, and then he do some shit and say,
Like
"Oh,
who?
but I
Like
like
who?
him. He's a good fighter."
Like,
But
like
all right,
who?
so let me
Hold on.
let me
Hold on.
do this. Let me
Hold
do
on,
this
Rich.
real quick.
Rich,
Let
hold
me do
on.
this. Let me do this
bro,
real
hold
quick.
on. Because the
I'm
only person
talking.
I hated on was Shakur Stevenson, and I know that's your fighter. I know that's your favorite fighter.
Let me do this real quick though. From what, like I said this to Sin, I think the other day or last time we was on 2 Cent panel. Y'all, Bud do got power because he went up to 154 and he fought a guy that fought totally different than he fought anybody else. The nigga was scared he would let his hands go against Bud. He was all twitchy and stuff like that. If Bud had no power, he would have walked through that shit and kept hitting him. You know what I'm saying? He would have kept. He would
Hey,
never
let
respect
me
it.
speak.
Wait,
Let me
can I-
say something, Rich.
and
Hold on, I'm gonna
let me
let you finish. Let me say this
Go
real quick
ahead.
to the power comment, right? A
Yeah.
lot of the people was like, "Oh, Bud got power, Bud got this and that," but like Bomac just admitted, right? They've been the bigger guy fighting smaller guys, and honestly, Bud is not necessarily. I'm not saying he don't got power, but he's not just boom knocking guys out and getting a 10 count. He's using his physicality to overwhelm these guys. And now that after what Bomac said, we're realizing is because he's probably bigger and stronger than these guys that he can use his physicality to overwhelm them. And so it's kind of coming off to me like people are saying that Bud is bigger and stronger than Canelo, and he's going to be able to use his physicality like he's been able to do in other fights. And I don't think that that's true.
But that's not what Bill Bomac
can I
said, though.
continue talk? Wait, can I continue talking? Like I said, first of all, Sean Porter fights at 160 or something like that in the amateurs. Kell Brook was way bigger than Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence been fighting at 147 for 10 years, 20 fucking years straight, his whole life. So I don't know who he been fighting that was bigger than him.
Errol Spence wasn't bigger than Terrence Crawford, from knowing what we know now, right?
Man, he was
now.
big. They, if anything, they was the same size. If you want to put it like that, which we know Terrence Crawford was naturally smaller than him. Kell Brook was naturally bigger than Terrence Crawford. But since what Bomac say, you gonna say that Terrence Crawford was bigger than Kell Brook. Okay, fuck all that. But what I'm saying is Bivol ain't even knocked nobody out since like 2019. So
it don't matter, bro. He went 24 with Arthur.
Let me talk real quick. He haven't knocked no one out since 2019. So where do you get all this power that Bivol had?
What about Arthur Beterbiev?
Wait, let me talk. Can I talk? Where do you get all this power that he have if he haven't knocked out somebody since 2019? So where you get that from? For all we know, Terrence Crawford hit harder than him. He ain't knocked nobody else since 2019.
Yeah, but Bivol at
y'all niggas just be talking, man.
buddy.
The only person that Terrence
Bivol
Crawford knocked out at
175.
147 was Avanesian, though.
He stopped everybody.
And that's when his gloves busted. So, I mean,
he stopped everybody else.
Terrence
Exactly.
Crawford finished niggas. The referee say, no more. He say, no more, you gonna
No
kill
mas.
this man in the ring. That's what he say. That's what Terrence Crawford do.
Hilarious.
Hey, 2 Cents.
This is what it takes. This is what it takes it to. They start defining what, you know what I'm saying, what a stoppage is and shit. You know what I'm saying? They want to differentiate between a knockout and stoppage. Hey, motherfuckers stop. That like
No,
like
it
like Rich
no,
said,
no,
Nick.
stop it. No, it's a difference.
Rich said
It's a
that the ref said,
difference.
no, we're not gonna let you kill this motherfucker.
NHA. So it's not a difference between a TKO and a knockout. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, a TKO,
Nope.
a lot of
It
times
is a
TK. Wait, hold on,
difference.
hold on. A lot of times a KO is when a lot of times when a KO usually happen is when someone get hit with something that they never seen coming or whatever case may be, and they just go out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If this nigga hitting you with stuff that you see coming, his punches is hard. That's what I'm saying. I can easily walk down the street right now, catch somebody on the street and punch the shit out of him, and they don't see it coming, and he gonna go out because
Hey,
that don't mean that I got a lot
But
of
he
power.
wasn't he
That
wasn't
don't mean
doing
that I
that to
got a lot of
people at
power because I can do
104.
that.
He wasn't doing that to people at 147
Jay,
pounds though.
we know he wasn't doing that, but my man Rich scaled up a little bit. He got to enhance his calm. Can you please load the screen like my man Isaiah asked you to?
Oh, okay. Shout out to Boxing on the
What happened?
Yo, man, you gotta say it right there, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus Bud Christ.
That was Black Jesus Christ.
It's crazy. Bud can put hands on him like Jesus.
I ain't never saw that one.
Y'all better act like y'all know.
Yeah.
Boxing Hacker. What's your
Better
2
act
cents
like
to
y'all
drop on
know.
the show?
Yo, so,
Please be still, my man Rich.
I ain't see that one.
for me, I think
Oh,
it's
shit.
60-40
That shit
Bud
funny.
Crawford. You know, I think that Bud Crawford has all the tools to win.
Y'all got jokes.
You know, as far as skill wise, I think Bud Crawford has the tools to win. I think Canelo is dangerous, especially in the early rounds. I think what's going to make a big difference is that for Canelo, as far as like big moments, right? Like people who've been in big fights. I think that Canelo probably have an easier way for that because like he's been in like bigger fights. You know, he's been in the Floyd fight, and most of his fights are always big, and that does play a part where it comes to like how easy it is for you to like get adjusted to like your rhythm and the other person's rhythm, stuff like that. So it's a question if Canelo can catch him early. He could hurt Bud. He could stop. It is possible he could stop him. You know, because Canelo does do all those weird fakes. You know, he'll like do like a fake and then throw another punch. And if he can do that early, he might be able to hurt Bud. But if Bud is able to like seize the moment, I think like, or when he seizes the moment, you know, I think that it's gonna be an uphill battle for Canelo. I think he's just gonna play with him. You know, I do think it's crazy.
Uphill battle for Canelo.
Yeah. I think Bud's gonna play with him. Bud
is going to play with him.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I ain't say this. Don't put me with Bob.
Hold on, we got you. You done Boxing Hacker? I got you next.
No, so like you look at Bud. Once Bud figures out people, and we've seen this in so many fights. You know, like he really like figures them out to a T. Where like he takes away everything they have to like counteract them. You know, and we've seen that in so many fights of his. You know, and so I don't think Canelo's that much different. You know. Like I said, Canelo's dangerous, but if he lets Bud settle and really like grasp a moment, like then I think there's gonna be a big problem for Canelo. You know, I don't think the way it's gonna play a factor like people think they are. And this whole thing about Canelo's been hurt, Canelo's never been stopped. Earl Spence has never been stopped. I've never even seen Earl Spence hurt before. You know,
Earl Spence is such a terrible example. Like,
no, it's not because Bud was coming from 135, right? Remember, he's coming up from. Everybody was saying before, like Earl said that Bud was lying the ass. Everybody was saying that how could Bud hurt Earl Spence, you know. But Earl was never stopped. He got stopped from the person who stopped Earl Spence was somebody coming from 135. Keep that in mind. The person who stopped Sean Porter was somebody coming from 135.
He was not
his dad stopped him,
bro. And
Porter
stopped. Only person that ever stopped Sean Porter.
The person that dropped Sean Porter twice was somebody coming from 135. Keep that in mind.
He was not coming from 120. Listen, Boxing Hacker, stop. I'm not finna.
No, because we always want to.
No. He started his career at 135. He's not coming up from 135. Cut it out, Boxing Hacker. That's not what's happening.
Stop pretending like this guy is not it. This guy was a 135 fighter. What on a knockout spree for like how many fights?
He wasn't okay. All right.
Every person he fought at 147, he stopped them. Every single person he fought.
He got a stoppage. He didn't stop them.
He stopped them.
He got
and who was great that he fought that he stopped? Who was great that he fought?
He stopped.
All right. Shout out to Juke on the panel.
Oh shit. Oh,
We got
shit,
Tony Reviews on the panel.
y'all better tuck y'all tails, juke around.
We got Terrence Best Videos on the panel.
Yeah, juke.
Juke, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey y'all, y'all crazy. Why y'all just gonna chuck your chain? I'm not that bad. Stop.
That's how Rich feel when you come on the panel.
Rich is my guy. Oh my god, he's so funny. I was just gonna say, I love this discussion. And initially, when this fight got made, I didn't want the fight. I really wanted Canelo versus Benavidez. I wanted Bud to fight somebody at 154. But now that it's really heating up, it seems like a lot of people are picking Bud. I want Bud to win. I don't know if I think he does have a chance. He has a chance. I just think that jumping up, it's a cherry pick still, in my opinion, on Canelo's end. But I do think because so many people are picking Bud, and it's starting to feel like a 50-50 situation, like when I'm listening to these panels, if Canelo does win, I kind of feel like we almost have to low-key give him credit, even though I don't want to give Canelo credit for this. But if they're picking Bud to win, we kind of gotta get, just a little bit of credit, like not all the way, you know what I'm saying? But I think Bud has a chance. I think, like what you guys were saying about, I think Bud does have power. I don't think anybody would ever say he don't have power. I just think it's a matter of, okay, how much power when you move up. For example, I know like Canelo has power, but it wasn't effective against Bivol because Bivol was just so much, he's used to taking shots from bigger men, and so that's my thing. And then also I'm curious to see Bud's, like his one, if the move up will affect his speed, because I do feel like part of the reason why he gets those good shots in is because they come out of nowhere and they're very fast. I thought at 154 he didn't look as fast to me, but that could just be because the pacing of the fight. I don't know. So that's my thing. And it's just a matter of, and how will it affect his stamina with the extra weight? I know he spars, I know he's in good shape, but I think being in the real thing is different, that's just my opinion. When it comes to saying like Buzz came from 135, that's like, okay, that's the case. I can say, you know what? Anytime somebody say anything about Tank, he came from 126. We can just do that all the time. Anytime anybody asks about, hey, Tank stopped whoever Barrios, and he came from 126 because that's about the amount of time, about the amount of time that Bud is removed for 135 is about the same amount of time that maybe even longer for Tank. For Bud, is how long removed Tank is from 126, and he's still smaller than half the guys fighting at 126 now. So I don't think that's a fair assessment. I thought with Spence. That's a good example, I guess, but Spence was at 147 for a long time, way too long, to the point where he complained about when they weren't able to do the fight in 2022 because he was saying this is getting hard for me to make this weight, and you're moving at a smaller capacity, less, like you're not at full capacity anymore because you're drained to make this weight. You've been there too long, because he was staying there trying to unify. And that's why I don't really fault Boots Ennis for going up, because it will start to affect your performances. So but other than that, Bud has had some great stoppages. The best name he got is Spence, and again, like that Porter, I hate that Porter stoppage. The fight was so good. I hate that Porter stoppage, but he has a chance. Anything can happen, right? I think it's less likely. But I hope it does happen, because I don't really like Canelo anyway. But that's all I had. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. We got Tony next.
Salute to my boy Tony.
Juke made some good points. Everybody making some good points, and they got their 2 cents. But I'm just thinking about, once Bomac said, "Oh, he should have been at 168," and then it's like, how somebody say something to you, and then like, how you don't know something, and then somebody say something to you, and then it all just click, and you be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I said." And so I'm like, okay, so if he really been this big and he should have been at 168 pounds, it's almost kind of like everything y'all saying is not gonna work, because he's been fighting smaller guys, y'all like, he been stopping everybody. They've been smaller than him, and then aren't the gloves gonna be even smaller than they are at 168 pounds? Don't the gloves change or no?
I don't think so. I think the gloves only change 140 and under. 147 and up, I think it's the same. I think
the gloves change at 54 though, right?
Really? I don't don't know. Let me start Google that real quick.
Tony
But
Reviews, what's your 2
Been
cents?
a
What you
bigger
got for the
weight class.
show?
What, 2 cents? Well, Spencer
Hey,
been at
somebody sound like
175,
they getting kidnapped or something in the background. What y'all got? Babies
Yeah,
screaming.
terrorizing the kids in the
God
background, man. Who over there
damn.
doing that, dog?
Down. Like,
Kidnap
what
you
y'all
call
doing?
That's my
kidnap you.
fault.
That's your child boxing hacker?
You
Who
said
is
what?
that insane? That's your
Hacker,
baby
don't
boxing
tell me you kidnapping folk, man.
No, not me, buddy.
Shit, y'all can have these motherfuckers if y'all want.
Yo, that's you insane? They having a good time.
They having a hell of a time back there.
Tony Reviews, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah, to answer your question, when you go to 154, they turn the 10-ounce gloves from 8 ounce. 147 below is 8 ounce. But whatchamacallit? Look, man, Canelo could show up with the flu on his worst day, and Crawford could show up on the snack pack on his best day, and it ain't gonna help him. He's going to get obliterated. All y'all that think size don't matter, he's going to do what 2 Cents' pitcher does and walk on water, and this dude is some type of biblical figure. He's not. He's not. The real story of that is that's Bud right before he gets ate by a shark. And that's what happened as he fell off the boat. They just caught him as his feet first touched the water. This dude is going to sink. He's not going to swim. Canelo is going to walk through him. Canelo doesn't even take him serious. Like, and Bud's nervous. I don't care what y'all say. Ain't nobody going to convince me that this dude or that dog that he's got, that he ain't fucking terrified, because he is. Because if he wasn't, when Canelo walked up to him in that last press conference and was ready to go in that boxer stance, Bud would have still walked up, got in his face, touched him. He didn't want to do none of that after Canelo got serious and pushed him, because Canelo was ready for him in that second one, and he looked terrified. He looked scared. And I'm telling you, you're going to see it. The minute Canelo puts that pressure on him, starts beating on him, whatever y'all think Crawford is, he won't show y'all. He's just a man. He's not made out of steel. He's not made out of nothing special. He's made out of flesh and blood. And like Dimitri Bivol said whenever he fought Canelo, he's just a little guy. He was a little guy. I knew I could beat him because he's a little guy. Canelo's been saying the same thing. He told y'all before, I don't even want to fight him, because when I beat him, I'm going to get zero credit because it's going to be so easy. He's too small. But ain't nobody listened to Canelo. Like 2 years ago when they first talked about this, and he laughed about it. He already told y'all, this is going to be an easy fight. He's too small. But hey, y'all think this man gonna walk on that water, so we gonna see. I think he's gonna drown. I think he's gonna be taken under. I think he's gonna visit the Bermuda Triangle and never come out of it. And that's just how it's gonna go down. There's nothing Bud can do. Bud's gonna get walked down, beat up, put down, and that's gonna be the end of the fight.
I think it's gonna be a little. I think it's gonna be a little competitive for a few rounds. Tony just like it. No,
I just want to know what Tony smoked.
Hold on. Shout out to Lee
what?
Jackson with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "I just want to say, I got $50 or 50 push-ups for whoever say Bud gonna win, and $100 for whoever say Bud gonna stop Canelo. Rich already lied about our bet. Shout out Lee Jackson for the $5 in the super chat."
Hey, 2 Cent, remember when Tony Reviews was talking about how Tevin Farmer was gonna like punish Kid Austin? He went on that rant for like 30 minutes.
Are you an idiot? Are you an idiot?
Listen, sometimes you get it
Wait a
wrong,
minute. Wait a
sometimes
minute.
you
Wait a
get it
minute.
right.
No. Wait a minute. I said
Yeah.
the same thing. I said Tevin was gonna get destroyed. What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
thought you said he was gonna win.
You are a fucking idiot. I was the only one on here saying it. No, let me talk, because you said something I never said.
Okay,
I said Tevin was going to get destroyed. I said it wasn't even going to be competitive. I said he was going to get walked through. And that's exactly what happened while people said I was crazy.
Okay, maybe I misspoke.
Tony, why do you feel like that about Bud and Canelo though? I would have never took that you'd have thought some shit like that.
Because he's not what he's made out to be. It took Bud going to one. Terrence Crawford's been my number one pound for pound for I don't know how many years. When idiots were trying to say Lomachenko was better than him, I was like, no, he's not. He's nowhere near as good as Bud. But here's the problem.
Whoever compared Loma and Bud? I ain't never.
A long time ago, they tried to say
that
that
old
Loma
white
was better.
dude on
Top
TV.
rank in ESPN.
But here's the facts. I've seen Bud's cap. I've seen his skill. He's a four-weight class fighter. He never make it through 154 without getting his ass whooped. And that's why he's jumping up too. He can't beat Fundora. He can't beat Baccaram. I don't think he could beat Charlo. There's a whole bunch of people at 154 that I think dust him off, and he knew it. So he ran from the division to dare to be great, and that's all this is. It's just it's another instance of a boxer running from his peers to allegedly dare to be great. And the real
Tony,
fact
can I
is
get a bet, Tony?
he's scared to
Yeah.
lose.
Can I get a
Hey,
bet, Tony?
Hold on,
but
let me
this
get
is
somebody to get their 2 cents. Hold on, y'all, and them open up the panel. Cue the violins. We got Terrence best videos on the panel. Terrence, what's your 2 cents? What you
what's
got for
up,
the
Terrence?
show?
What's up, Terrence?
What up, Rich? What up, panel? What's up,
Yeah,
guys?
Jupe around Terrence. So
I
yeah.
know I ain't gonna. Yeah, I don't want to get involved with that critique right now.
Why y'all
Just,
treat me
I
like
would just,
that?
I would just say, I would just say my piece real quick so we can open this up. First of all, why I don't know why y'all keep comparing Madrimon. I mean, like Rich said, this dude was basically. I mean, just imagine if Bud had fought. Just imagine if Bud fights Canelo like that, and he just sitting there doing the same thing that Madrimov did. I bet you y'all would be bitching and complaining about. Oh, look at Bud. He's fighting. Oh, he's scared and he's jittering and he's fainting. And y'all would be complaining about it, but not one of y'all complained about him being a bigger guy and not just taking it to Crawford. Why didn't he like Rich said?
Because
Why
that
y'all?
wasn't
No,
his,
no,
that's
no.
not his
Can I
style. What are you talking about?
can I finish? Not one person complained about this man basically fainting for 3 or 4 or 5 rounds and throwing one punch at a time. Nobody complained about it, but I guarantee you, if Bud do that against Canelo, the same fight, he can fight the same way. I bet you y'all be bitching and complaining about it. Oh, look how he fought. He didn't do anything. He was just sitting there fainting. That's what y'all would say. But that's why I say there's always a double standard with most. I ain't gonna say all of y'all, but a lot of y'all, there's always a double standard. But as far as boxing gym, just like y'all was saying that the Porter fight was close. A lot of y'all just don't like Bud, but when boxing gym broke that fight down, you would see that he clearly won the fight. But see, when your mind is set to dislike somebody and to want Crawford to lose so bad, anything that you perceive as close, you're gonna automatically say, "Oh yeah, he lost that round." Anything minimal close, Bud lost the round because y'all don't like him. Y'all want him to lose, bro. That's what I'm saying. If you don't like somebody, anything close, you're gonna give it to the other guy. I don't know what this hate is for Bud, this dislike, but let me just tell you this: this will be a Bud show. He's not gonna do what you guys wanted him to do. He's gonna move. He's gonna make cement feet plant, and once he plants, he's going to be out of the way. He's going to be hit with a couple shots and out of the way. And yes, y'all going to be mad about it. Oh, it's a cat and mouse. It's a Tom and Jerry because he's going to be landing and moving. That's pretty much it. And it's going to be an easy night for Bud. And if he gets reckless, and I'm going to keep saying it, if he gets reckless and just starts saying, "Look, I don't care. I'm just going to come forward," he might get knocked out. And I don't care about what y'all say. If he gets reckless again, that fight that he fought against Madrimov has nothing to do because with what's going to happen here. Bud has nothing to prove. He doesn't have to attack Canelo. He can just lay back and make him make mistakes. And that's pretty much what he's going to do. Every mistake he's going to make him pay for. As now you say skills. I'm sorry that you. I think you said that it's something about someone can have pressure skills. I'm sorry, but if you have two fighters the same size, the same weight, and one could do has better timing, better ring generalship, like Shakur versus the guy that just can come forward, he's gonna lose every time, at least 99% of the time, because he don't have the skills. Skills can make up for a lack in power. Skills can make up for things, and but you're right. There's sometimes the person with power can make up for it by getting one lucky punch. So someone said, I think you said that he can win in a different ways. Canelo, I don't see how he can win in a whole lot of ways. He needs, like you said, he needs to pressure Bud and get a lucky punch in, and in the fight that way, just like he did.
Hold on. So just
Because
to hold on, let me just to clarify my thinking. You're saying the only way that Canelo can win is if he get a lucky punch in?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, he needs
Okay.
to get a lucky punch in. There's no way that he's now wait. And the other way, if with a gift decision. Now that's the other way. And I don't care if they can give him if Bud clearly wins the fight and they want to give Canelo a gift decision like they normally do, so be it. But I'm saying that the general public is going to see that at the end of the fight that Bud clearly won the fight, whether they give him the decision or not. That's all I gotta say. Y'all open it up.
Panel open.
Well said, Terrence. Couldn't agree
Thank you,
more.
thank you.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. When you
I just
talk
want to
about
say
hate,
Tony
hate,
real
hate,
quick.
hate, hate,
It's
hate.
insane.
Hold on 1 second, most hated or insane. My bad. When you talk about people hate, here's the problem. You got to know the history. I picked Terrence Crawford to knock out Sean Porter when everybody said it couldn't be done. I picked Crawford to win a majority of all his fights, all of them. Number one on my pound for pound. So if that's hating, then I don't know what liking somebody is. Furthermore, the fact of the matter is this: you can say what you want, but there's weight classes for a reason. When you see a guy go up and he can no longer perform like he used to, you got to ask yourself, what is the reason for that? Did he get old overnight? No, I don't think so. Was the other guy an elite fighter that just made him not look good? No, not at all, because the guy that he fought in Israel, Masvidal, only had 11 fights. That's it. We're not talking about some seasoned veteran. We're not talking about some elite at the 154 division. We're talking about a guy who got sunned by Virgil Ortiz, who ain't never been a fucking champion, who got his ass whooped by Bokachek in the fight before. So this is what I'm talking about. This is where people, they let their hearts go over what their eyes and minds have already seen, and they just want to believe in some shit that's unbelievable. Israel Masvidal will never be a champion. He'll never be a champion again. He got lucky because Charlo vacated his titles, and he picked up a vacated title against a guy who never had been a champion himself. That's how he got his title. He never established himself. He never became an elite. He never beat anybody of the top of the 154 division, and that's who Terrence went after. So again, you don't know the history of it, and when you see a guy who can barely compete, in my opinion, it was a draw. I didn't think Crawford won, but I didn't think he lost either. So at the end of the day, Israel Masvidal can't even lace up Canelo's boots. They're not. If you struggle with Israel 14 pounds lighter, how are you going to beat Canelo? It's not happening.
Anybody want to respond to that?
Wait, and I will say this: is he gonna fight the same way? I'm gonna ask you a question.
Oh wait, I've been saying
Tony, are they gonna is he gonna fight the same way that Majimov fought? Yes or no?
No.
Is Canelo going to fight like Israel
Masvidal? Yeah, anything like Majimov fight? Is he gonna fight like that?
Yeah, he might have some aspects like Israel Masvidal, because Israel made that fight difficult off his defense. Canelo is defensively one of the best, if not the best, counterpuncher defensively in all of boxing.
That's not true, Tony. First off,
how is that not true?
So Israel
who's a better counterpuncher than Canelo?
I'm not saying Canelo's not a good counterpuncher. I'm saying Israel Madrimov didn't make the fight difficult off his defense. He made off all those goddamn feints he was doing. It was like I said, I always say it before, like there are two different styles. It was a different style of boxing. Israel Madrimov is more like a Bivol than Canelo.
No, the fuck is not.
Yes, they are, and they train together. Yes, they are. They come from the same school of boxing. You literally see it in the ring. They come from different. When you see Israel Madrimov,
I didn't believe him. American style of boxing before. I understand.
Hey, Tony, is Shiraz? Can Shiraz tie Canelo's boots or whatever it is?
Hold up, one second, guys. 1 second, guys. Also, people keep saying that. Oh, look, he couldn't handle Israel Madrimov posed a different problem than Canelo's gonna pose. It's a different fight. Styles make fights. There's nothing you can really gauge off what he did with Israel Madrimov than what he did with Canelo. Because look at it this way: Israel Madrimov only had a few fights, right? But Israel Madrimov also did better than Earl Spence. He also did better than everybody at 147. Does he mean that they're like he was more experienced than them? No, he posed a problem.
He did better than everybody at 147 boxing.
Against Crawford, yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know
why? But nobody fought like that.
Hold on, we got somebody new on the panel. Shout out Band-Aid on the panel.
Yeah, dude.
Salute Nickel Slick. And yes, Hacker is correct on that one.
You sound like you on a
motherfuckers don't know
roller
how to talk
coaster.
boxing.
Because everybody else at 47 went to sleep or got TKO'd, right?
Only one
Yep.
person went to sleep
Yep.
at 47, and
No,
that
everybody
was
went to sleep at
Avanesian.
47. Everybody got stopped at 47.
Nobody went to sleep but Avanesian.
That's a good point because you know what I mean, right? Madrimov did better in the sense that he went the distance with Canelo. I mean, it is not Canelo, but that also kind of might speak to the point of it could be
You got a
because
lot of feedback.
Somebody got feedback.
that could speak to the point of Madrimov also just being bigger and being able to absorb the power because remember, Madrimov did get. I'm actually every time we talk about a fight, I end up watching the fight. I'm watching it right now. Like Bud did hit Madrimov with some good clean shots that I've seen that would have normally put the person down or hurt him, and Madrimov didn't go anywhere. So I'm wondering if that's huh? Okay,
I was backing you up. I just said them punches did do nothing to Israel.
Right, yeah, and now I'm wondering did that speak to the point of like we're saying is that the size because he hit him with something really clean, and I just seen it, it buckled at least buckle. I don't think I saw Madrimov buckle, so I think that's why my hesitation with picking Bud. I want Bud to win, but I am concerned about the size.
So,
and if he can take the power, like I feel like everybody just keeps skipping over that. I keep bringing this up now that you realize he's been fighting smaller guys because he's bigger. What about the power? That's even more of a question now in my mind, right? Like, so what is he gonna do when Canelo? Charlo said Canelo punched him in his shoulders and it shook his feet. That is crazy.
Oh, bitch. We can't even take Charlo's word. Nothing. That motherfucker didn't go in there and fight.
No, NHA, you can't say that because tons of people have said
Canelo
has a lot of power.
Tons
of people have said that.
Hey, you know what else tons of people have said though? Hey, tons of people have also
Charlo has power.
Tons of people have also said Bud has power in both hands.
Yeah,
you know he.
Yeah.
I don't
talking about the smaller fighters he was weight bullying.
Who said that?
Let's see.
Let me give you an example real fast.
Who said that about Crawford?
Hold on. This is what it had to do with it. This is what
Sean Porter said that about Crawford when he was comparing.
You're little men. That's what you're missing. What Juke was saying is exactly what I've been saying. When he went up there against Israel Masvidal, who only had 11 fights, he did not look the same. Why? Because Israel could take everything he had. His power evaporated against a shitty 154-pound fighter who had no professional fights. 11 against an alleged all-time great. A guy with 11 fights fighting an all-time great is ridiculous. The fact is, size matters. Let me give you an example. You put a dude in there who's 130 pounds and Terrence Crawford, you could put a Noe in there. 122-pound Anui gets knocked the fuck out by Terrence Crawford because Crawford's too big. You put Crawford in there against Zilly Zhang, who's not the best of heavyweights, and Crawford gets sparked the fuck out and doesn't even hurt him. Why? Because of the weight. When you go up in weight, that size can neutralize your skill and talent. And that's what happened. The dude is
that what?
No way, guys.
Is that what happened? Is that what happened with Roy Jones and Ruiz?
No, yeah, Ruiz lost. But no,
okay. So what the fuck is he talking about?
Let me say something to Tony. Let me say something to Tony.
But here's
Ruiz was fucking heavyweight. That motherfucker weighed in about like 230.
But
Roy Jones was a natural light heavyweight.
But here's the problem with what you're saying, Tony. It wasn't about Madrimov.
Hold on, Mr. Shelton. What are you even talking about? What are you talking about, Mr. Shelton? Because you say everybody trash, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
But
go ahead.
Here's the problem. It wasn't about Madrimov's punch resistance. It's the style of fighting that made it difficult for Crawford. So if you watch, I don't know how you watch a fight and when you're in a fight, it's two different things, right? When you're inside the fight, like a lot of things play a part, like the positioning, how you land the punch, how you're able to like close the distance. All those things matter. Madrimov made the positioning very hard. So even when Crawford was throwing punches, Madrimov would be a little bit away. Like he wasn't positioning his shots all the way correctly. That's why he had to change style in the middle of the fight. He literally had to stop, trying to box with Madrimov and let Madrimov just attack him, and he will counter Madrimov. Because because Madrimov was posing a different threat. And the same thing, if you look at how Madrimov fought Ortiz, Madrimov would be beating Ortiz when he was doing pendulum. If you watch that fight closely, when he was doing the pendulum step and when he was like fighting the little Bizarre style fighting, he was winning the fight. It wasn't until Madrimov slowed down that all those shots started hurting or hurting Madrimov because Madrimov stopped moving, and Ortiz was able to utilize the positioning better. Those things matter. So
Right,
when you say, "Oh,
make-
you couldn't hurt Madrimov," it wasn't because Madrimov had this extraordinary punch resistance against, or Crawford didn't have power. It was just that Madrimov was always on the move. Those feints, as funny as they may look to you, they cause a problem.
Listen to this
I have
guy.
a question.
This guy
I have a
this guy ain't
question.
never been nowhere in the gym in his life trying to
Let me
break
say
down a
something.
motherfucking fight.
Here's what I hate.
Tony.
That's
Hold
why
on,
the
hold on, hold
Saudis
on.
and the
One mic,
Cubans
one
are
mic,
winning
one
in the
mic,
Olympics.
one mic.
And
Go
the
ahead.
American
Somebody brought
got
up.
gold medal in a long
Wait,
time.
I just wanted to
That
respond
was
to.
literally that reason.
I just want to respond to what Hacker's saying. So again, I agree that Madrimov made it difficult in certain ways, the style and all that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying that Bud don't have power. I don't think anyone on this panel has said Bud don't have power. So I don't know why everybody keep arguing that point. Like, he has power.
Motherfucker ain't got no power. I said it. But yeah, go ahead, Drew.
I'm gonna say, do not say that because this
Go
hating
ahead,
ass
keep up
nigga
with
gonna
it.
come up here and say some dumb shit.
Let me finish. So, but what I'm saying is he still landed some good, clean shots. I'm literally watching the fight. He landed some of the same shots I've seen him land on previous opponents, and it did nothing. That's all I'm saying. Like, I get you saying, oh, he did it, made it more difficult. I get it. Bud has been in difficult fights before. I remember Benavidez made it a bit difficult for him in certain parts of the fight. I get all that. He still was able to get those shots off. He figured it out and he got some shots off, and it did nothing. I'm not saying that means Bud Power went away. I don't know if he had Madrimov had a magical chin that night, if it's a weight, but it's something. I'm just saying it should be considered. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so really
May I
Could
say
it be that
something?
Madrimov just had a good chin?
It was said and it
It
was
could be that
funny.
Madrimov just had a good
May
chin because
I
I say
Ortiz
something?
couldn't do nothing to him either.
I get so tired of the same rinse and repeat arguments when people don't know shit about boxing. Bringing up Roy Jones Jr., going to heavyweight to fight John Ruiz, who was one of the worst heavyweight champions in all of the history of boxing, is the dumbest example. Because my counter to that is, why didn't he fight Lennox Lewis, who was a champion at the time? Why didn't he fight Vitaly Klitschko, who was a champion at the time? Why didn't he fight the two guys who were rated to be the number 1 and number 2 heavyweights at the time? Roy Jones went and fought the weakest guy at heavyweight and ran away from the division right after he won the title. Why? Because he knew he could not compete with Lennox Lewis or Vitaly Klitschko. So he beat the lowest hanging fruit, who was trash, and left. This is not a trash fighter in Canelo. Canelo is the elite. He is the number 1 of 168. There is no better than Canelo at 168. He's not going for William Skull. He's going for Canelo, the best. It's completely different when you're fighting the best versus a dude who shouldn't even be a champion.
And to be honest,
Hold on. I think that was directed at me. But hold on. No, he directed at me now. So Tony, but you said simply the bigger man, Crawford's going to lose just simply because he's a smaller guy. You not just necessarily. You said anytime you always like to bring up the bigger guy always going to beat the smaller guy.
That's what he said.
So it don't fucking matter if it matter if Ruiz was the weakest champion, whatever you want to call it, when in the history or whatever. The motherfucker was a heavyweight champion. He beat somebody to get that fucking belt. He was a heavyweight champion. He was a heavyweight champion, and Roy Jones moved up however fucking weight classes and shit. Because when Ruiz came in the fight, he was a motherfucker. He came in weighing at a heavyweight weight. And Jones was able to go in there and embarrass the fuck out of him. And I agree with you that Ruiz was not all that good of a fighter, but again, it goes against your argument that the smaller guy's always going to lose to the bigger guy just because he's simply better. You use that all the time in reference to street. I'm a big guy. I ain't never seen a little guy beat a little guy, big man.
Can I say something, please? I didn't get a chance. Rich, I didn't get a chance to respond to Tony yet. Go ahead.
Wait, Terrence, hold on. Just let me, because he directly brought up my name and then you got it. Look, it's not my point that a little guy can't beat a big guy, because it can happen. My point is this. You see it time and time again. Little guys move up, they win. Little guys move up, they win. Little guys move up, they don't look the same. Little guys move up, they lose. So there comes a point to where you can only go up so much before you're too small to compete. It doesn't matter how great you are. Eventually, if you fight an elite who's too big for you, your skills are not going to help you. You're going to get your ass whooped. Why? Because in the real world, not in the movie world, but in the real world, weight matters. That's why they made weight classes. So again, Terrence Crawford lost all his power at 154. To think that he's going to gain his power overnight at 168 against the best chin of all of boxing is just ridiculous. Terrence, you got it.
But Canelo's is not a career 168.
He said he lost all his power. According to how?
He's not.
Does Ortiz hit harder than Bud?
You know,
I'm asking Tony. Does Virgil Ortiz hit harder than Bud?
It looked like it whenever he fought Israel Masvidal.
Okay, so they both went to decision. Did he fucking stop him?
But like,
hold on. Let me answer this. Let me ask you this: is Virgil Ortiz a generational talent?
What is your point? We're talking about power right now.
No. Is Virgil
we're talking power?
I got you, and I'm going with that. But you need to stay with me if I'm gonna stay with you. Is Virgil generational talent?
Nobody
Virgil Ortiz, I don't know. It's too early in his career to tell that.
Has Virgil Ortiz ever been a champion?
No, he hasn't been a champion yet.
Okay, so Virgil Ortiz is nowhere near being considered an all-time great or the best of the generation, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say Terrence Crawford is a better fighter than Virgil Ortiz?
Yes, he is.
Okay, now stop. So then why the fuck did Virgil Ortiz do way better against Israel than Terrence did if Terrence is the better fighter?
Why did fucking Amir Khan do way fucking better than motherfucking goddamn against Maidana than Floyd and he did against Maidana?
Why did Israel do better?
Shut the fuck up with your triangle theory. You sound like kind of weird now.
The point that you're missing is Virgil is a much bigger man than Crawford.
It don't matter.
He's much bigger.
Bud had one fight at 154. You judging his whole 154 career at 150. You know what I'm saying? His whole career at 154 off of one fight.
Yes, you're right. Off of one fight. Because you know why? Boxing isn't like any other sport to where we can judge you off your past. We have to judge you off your last performance. Fighters literally
and that's kind of dumb though.
Hold on. Fighters can literally walk in the ring and get old overnight. They can look unstoppable, like Roy Jones, then walk in there and get knocked the fuck out by Glenn Johnson.
If that's the case, then you
look at any fight though. Every fighter is entitled to a bad outing. The fact y'all picking up one fight that he actually dominated, in my opinion, he dominated.
Let me say this because y'all getting off topic. But I think the point that he's making, NHA2, is how he looked against the bigger fighter. So how you gonna think he's going to look better against an even bigger fighter? That's the point that I think he's trying to make.
Canelo's not a career 168er though. Y'all remember that, right?
None of that matters. None of that matters.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Canelo's also
okay, and I can counter it with this. Sugar Ray Leonard struggled against motherfucking Tommy Hearns and fucking Duran at a lower weight class, but he was able to he able to deal with him at a high weight class. What's the difference?
What are you talking about? Whenever Sugar Ray Leonard when Sugar Ray Leonard rematched Hearn, arguably he should have lost that fight at a higher weight class. Why? Because Hearn got to fill out his skinny ass frame.
Oh, what about Duran though?
What about Duran?
I mean, look how far back. Every
Duran
time
beat Sugar Ray at a low weight class, and he washed him in a higher weight class.
What about Pacquiao? Pacquiao went a whole bunch of weight classes.
Hold on, y'all. Every time we talk about stuff and y'all got to go so far back with these examples. Let's bring up some more current modern examples. Don't go all the way with Roberto Duran. Like, why y'all keep going all the way back? Can we bring up some more modern examples of this happening, which only proves the point that this is not something that's just happening like that all the time. People moving up 2-3 weight classes.
We can't do that. We got to compare GOAT to GOAT. This is GOAT talk.
I don't think you ever saw. Hold on, Boxing Hacker. I don't think you ever saw the Duran Ray fight because first off, they didn't fight at way different time periods. Literally, Sugar Ray Leonard lost to Duran in a controversial decision, came back in the same year, a couple of months later, and beat the fuck out of him at the same weight class.
I don't know. He beat the fuck out of him, but yeah, he beat him.
But I'm just saying,
the
like,
same weight class.
Yeah, beat the fuck out of him was crazy.
what
Definitely
my
have the
point
same
I'm
weight
making
class.
is what y'all are
How did he
saying.
not beat the fuck out
What
of
y'all
him?
saying
Wait,
that's gonna be
two
done
cents.
doesn't happen too
move,
often.
man.
Two cents. Hold on, Hacker.
Yeah,
How did
yeah.
he not beat the fuck out of him when he stopped him in the rematch?
He quit because he got
Said
tired.
no mas.
And
Because he
quit
got
because
the shit
tired.
beat
He
out
was-
of him.
I
Because
mean,
wait,
kind of bad.
he fought. So Sugar Ray Leonard fought the same way Devin Haney fought when he fought what's his name, Ramirez. Remember that?
No
Sugar Ray
mas.
No,
Leonard
he
and
didn't.
Dean fought like Devin Haney.
And
Boxing
Devin
Hacker,
beat
cut
him
it
all
out.
the time.
God,
He
Box Hacker.
beat the
Let
fuck
me
out of him.
explain
Like,
something to you.
Hold on, y'all. We got somebody new on the panel. Shout out
yeah,
Deem on the panel.
What's going on,
What
2
up,
Cent? What's the
Deem?
deal?
All right, we're gonna let Deem get his 2 cents off, and it's 7 p.m. Unfortunately, guys. So we're gonna go around the panel, give everybody 2 minutes, let them get their final 2 cents off. I will be back live again Tuesday night, 10:30 p.m. for 2 cents after dark. I may do a pop-up tomorrow. I don't know. They say they're not sending my notifications out. I don't even know what that's about. But Dean, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I was hearing the conversation, 2 Cent. My thing is, the part I don't like is people act like they don't understand why people are saying when you go up in weight classes, no matter how good you are, that could be a problem. Because let me give you a scenario. If Shakur Stevenson, a guy that people think is better than Tank, and he one of the best fighters in the world, if he went up to 154 right now and fought Jaron Boots-Ennis, Terrence Crawford, as good as he is and as generational and great as of a boxer and all of that, do he got the skills? Is he more skilled than them? Maybe. Do he got a chance? Maybe, but he would be in a lot of trouble. The part I think people are doing is severely underestimating Canelo Alvarez. Y'all got to separate how we feel about Canelo from what he actually is in the ring. What I feel about the man don't matter. I saw Jermell Charlo. I seen guys that can have more skill, more footwork, better jab, faster, the whole nine. But if you can't deal with that pressure, none of that matters. None of it. It goes immediately out the window. So, not saying Bud Crawford can't win and all of that stuff. Bud Crawford, have y'all seen Bud Crawford? That snack is working. Have y'all seen Bud Crawford? That snack is working. No, he got the talents and the capability to win, especially if he stay on his bike and he avoid getting hit with a lot of shit. The problem is you going to win that way versus Canelo? Is they going to even grant you on the scorecards fighting that way? That's to be seen. And the other part is, no matter what you feel about Canelo, he's going to cause a problem if he start cornering Bud and all that. Dimitri Bivol is every bit as skilled as Terrence Crawford is. And it was points in time Canelo was countering him. And the difference is Dimitri Bivol is such a bigger man than both fighters. So just don't lose sight of that, though, y'all. That's all I'm saying. If Bud win, congratulations, Bud, because he would have had to overcome a lot to win. But at the same time, if he go in there and lose and it look like Jermell and all of these things start coming into play, don't act like y'all surprised on all of that stuff if that does happen. That's all I gotta say about it, 2 Cent.
Yeah, all right. NHA, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show? You got 2 minutes.
2 whole minutes. I'm gonna keep it short and brief. 6 more days, man. I want to see Tony here on motherfucking the 14th to give me an expert breakdown of what went wrong with his man. That's all I gotta say. I just need that. I don't want to hear no snap shit. I don't want to hear no snap shit from nobody. I want to hear no. Fuck it. I don't even give a fuck. Y'all can catch snap. As long as Bud go in there and put belt to ass and step on this motherfucker and shit, it'll make my fucking goddamn day. If it don't, it'll be another day. It is what it is. Job easy.
All right. Shout out NHA. Boxing Hacker, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
What's up, 2 Cent? I keep saying it again, like when it comes to this whole Madrimov fight, the style was completely different. When you look at how Americans box to how Soviets box, it's totally different styles. Just like how Cubans box, totally different styles. Their approach to fights are totally different. So to say that we can base something off how he did against Madrimov to say how he's going to do against Canelo, it's practically impossible because they're two totally different styles of fighting, and styles make fights. You know, it's not like Bud's going to have to fight like Bivol. If he was fighting Bivol, then he'd be like, yeah, look what he did with Madrigal fight. But it's not Bivol, it's Canelo. You know, they're two totally different styles of fighting. When it comes to this whole thing of, oh, nobody can knock out Canelo, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, Bud stopped EJ. I've never even seen EJ get hurt. I don't remember EJ even getting hurt in a fight, but Bud stopped him. You know,
EJ almost got stopped the fight before, Boxing Hacker. What are you talking about?
Against who? Ugas? No.
Against Ugas, that should have been a knockdown. Oh. It should have been a knockdown.
Should have been a knockdown. Almost getting stopped is two different things, by the way. You know, if
they would have let that go through and let Ugas continue to be on his ass, you don't know how that turns out in that aspect. That's all I'm saying.
How does this should have been a knockdown if he never touched the canvas? Anyway. So
they don't have to touch the canvas when your body flops against the ropes like that. Is that the ref's discernment at that point? If somebody hits you from the middle of the ring and you bounce all the way back to the motherfucking ropes, if they wanted to call it a knockdown, they could. But go ahead.
You're right. They could have called it out, but he wasn't physically hurt. One, like I said, I've never seen EJ hurt.
Okay, he wasn't hurt.
He was not hurt. He was looking for his mouthpiece and he got caught. He was not hurt. I don't know how that's even comparable. But stopped. He stopped the guy like that. People always say EJ was different. I'm a big EJ fan, but that same EJ that was different beat Ugas, who beat Pacquiao, was come off the biggest win. And Ugas is not an easy meal for anybody. So for him to make Ugas' eyes bleed for like a whole week, but to beat that man, it's still a great feat. You know. And so when it comes to this Canelo, like I said, when it comes to Canelo versus Crawford fight, I just think that. Of course, I'm gonna say again, Canelo's a dangerous fighter. You know, it's a big moment. You know, and Canelo, you know, has been more big moments than Bud has. But if he can get past those and like he can stabilize himself in the fight, I think it's not gonna be a hard fight. I think people are gonna be very surprised how well Bud does in that fight. And I think Canelo's just gonna get beat. You know, I'll favor Canelo to lose 60% towards Bud. Oh, damn out. Salute to you guys.
All right, Boxing Hacker, thank you for your 2 cents. Rich, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Rich, you there? Yeah, like I said before, man, we can't be I can't jump on nobody if they got Canelo winning and all that stuff. But when you got people that's on here that's like making it seem like Crawford just ain't shit at boxing. Like, and that he ducked the whole 154 just to fight Canelo and all that stuff. Some niggas just be delusional when they talk. And I feel like just give him his respect, man. You ain't gotta like him as a fighter. You ain't gotta like him at all. You know what I'm saying? But damn, give the guy his respect. Like the man good. The man successful at boxing, at something that he loved. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he going up there fighting Canelo. I still got it on 60-40, but I want Crawford to win, so I got it 50-50. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm, rolling with. That's it.
All right, Rich. All right. Thank you for coming up. Give me your 2 cents for the show. Tony Reviews, what's your final 2 cents?
Wait. Before Tony go ahead, I never got to ask him the question.
Okay, come on, because we ending the show. What you got?
Yeah, real quick, Tony. What would you say about Russell versus Loma? Now you keep bringing up that point that this man had didn't have a lot of amateur that he only had 11 fights. How many fights did Loma have when he fought Gary Russell? And would you say that Gary Russell was more experienced?
Lomachenko had 3 fights before he fought Gary Russell Jr. To answer your question. Would I say Russell had more experience? Yes, I would. But here's the problem with what you're trying to do. See, you can't go by the extreme and act as if that's the ordinary. You can't go by the once that's never happened before and act like it happens on a often occurrence. Here's the difference. We saw Lomachenko compete at a very high level, show a very high Q before even going into that fight. The reason why he got to fight Gary Russell Jr. is because arguably he should have beat Salido, who all he did was nut punch and headbutt the whole fight, and the ref completely ignored it. So again, You have a fighter that's done something that's never been done before, and you're trying to act like that's ordinary. Israel Masvidal had already showed you his levels way before he got in there with Terrence Crawford. He never looked like a world beater. He never looked like the Matrix, so to say. The dude looked like a decent boxer at best.
But he had, but my point is, Tony, he had a lot of
I'm
fights.
answering your question.
Okay.
It's like you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Okay. The second thing is, do you admit that he was holding on? He was holding in that fight when he was getting hurt. You're telling me? I know Juke said it too. Y'all didn't see where he was holding on, and if he wouldn't have held on, he might have got knocked out. Do you agree, Tony?
I completely disagree because woulda, coulda, shoulda. You're just creating a hypothetical, imaginary thing that never came into reality. No, what I'm saying is, I don't know if he didn't hold on and clinch, whatever you want to say. And first off, he didn't even clinch that much until the last 10 rounds when he was dead tired. Why was he dead tired? Because he wasn't used to fighting 12-round fights. He had only been in one 12-round fight in his entire career before he got in there with Crawford, who's fought numerous 12-round fights, but I digress. The fact of the matter is this: I don't know if he didn't clinch, if he would have got knocked out, because I didn't see anything up to that point that tells my eyes, yeah, he was on the verge of getting knocked out, because he was never rocked. He was never stumbled. He was never on spaghetti noodle legs. He was never put down. There was never any time when the referee was stepping in looking like he was going to stop the fight. So based off the evidence of the previous 9 rounds, I would say no, I cannot conclude that Israel would have ever been knocked down in that fight.
Well, go ahead and finish.
All right, what's your final 2 cents? We got to wrap it up, y'all. Come on.
I got you. Boxing Hacker, once again, has shown why he doesn't know shit about boxing. He tried to compare Beeble, who controls you by a jab and range. Yes, like Israel, he does throw some feints, but he keeps his distance. Israel fights nothing like Demetrius Bivol. Israel Masvidal is not even close to fighting like Bivol. Just go watch the 2 fight. How Bivol controls range with the jab. He rarely even comes into the pocket, unlike Israel. So again, Boxing Hacker doesn't even know what he's looking at when it comes to boxing. The fact of the matter is this: I don't want to hear any excuses. I want every Bud buddy to keep the same energy when he gets walked through, when he gets beat down, when he gets stopped. I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, well, he dared to be great because he went up 2 weight classes and he was just too small. Because according to y'all, he's not too small. According to y'all, he walks around this size. According to y'all, he's stronger than Usyk and could beat him in a fight. So keep that same energy when Canelo beats the brakes off this dude. Keep that same energy. I don't want no excuses, because it doesn't matter how much snack that man has flowing through his body. It doesn't matter how many visits he goes and sees Victor. It's not going to help him. It does not matter what they do, because the Reynoso Bistro is way stronger. And Reynoso is going to have them beef on order, Uber Eats, going straight to Canelo's door, and he going to just beat this dude up. Again, I don't want no excuses. I'm coming with my coffee cup on the 14th, and I'm drinking y'all's tears. I'm making my rounds. I'm collecting my bets for every channel I've been on. And y'all going to see it's not going to be what you thought it was going to be. And then y'all going to realize, damn, this was a dumbass fight.
All right, Tony Reviews. Thank you for coming up, giving your 2 cents. Y'all already know Tony gonna come up and shake the table. Terrence Best Videos, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Okay, so
2 minutes. 2
real
minutes.
quick.
So.
Yeah, it's gonna be less than 2 minutes. Real quick. How Terrence Crawford wins the fight is simple: timing, educated feet, and defensive responsibility in this fight. You'll see all 3 at play. Anytime that Canelo gets into range, he's going to either be moving out of range or be hitting him and then moving out of range. That's how simple it is, guys. That's the reason bad fighters can't beat Canelo, is because they don't have those skill sets. This is why this man is great, because he has those attributes that other fighters just don't have. Of course, if you are a fighter that don't have those attributes, a person that pressures you will win the fight, because you, as Tony says, you can't keep him off of you. But we'll be able to keep Canelo off of him and win the fight easy. Thanks for having me on. Have a good night, guys.
All right. This whole win the fight easy is crazy to me. Saying Ironheart, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey man, look, like I said once again, I just feel like I'm sick of just hearing everybody make up these bullshit superpowers that Crawford ain't never shown in the ring, especially the fact that he ain't never even fought nobody that's respectable or nobody that we thought was going to be next up to run the division or nothing like that. Man ain't got no title defenses. I ain't never seen another champion. They say it's hate. They love to say it's hate, but I've never seen another champion struggle to get respect like this. I've seen plenty of people hold way less belts, but for some reason, we feel like this dude is a bluff, and I feel like it's for good damn reason. Me especially. As far as him versus Canelo, in real life, as I would say, he ain't got no motherfucking chance. He would never bump into Canelo in the streets. Canelo could step on his shoes, do whatever the fuck he want. Crawford is not going to try that, man. But in the theatrical world of boxing, where Canelo is, not just facing Terrence Crawford, but he's also facing Turkey and Victor Conte, which is two factors that people don't want to bring up. But Canelo does have more of an uphill battle. But as far as skill-wise, there ain't a single punch. Crawford needed to practice kickboxing if you want to talk about some skills over Canelo, because he ain't never did a damn thing in that ring against nobody. He ain't got a better punch, he ain't got a better jab, cross, hook, or uppercut. Canelo damn near speaks better English than Terrence Crawford. So I don't know where anybody gets this bullshit from, but at the end of the day, Crawford is soft as wet wedding cake. And that's my final 2 cents. I appreciate you having me. Lovely show. Yeah, Jupe, it's a pleasure. I ain't get to interact with you like that, but it's a pleasure to be up here with you because you're a bit of a realist too, so I appreciate that. But hey, enjoy y'all night. I appreciate it, y'all.
I said thank you for coming up, giving your 2 cents. Jupe, I'm gonna let you close us out. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show? I want to thank everybody for joining me today. If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. Help support the channel by hitting the Cash App at $2 cents boxing, or just hitting that heart with the $sign in and leaving a special thanks below. Interesting conversation today. It's the great debate. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence T-Bud Crawford. Who's going to win? Some people say Crawford got an uphill battle. Some people say Crawford don't got a chance. Some people say it's going to be an easy fight for Crawford. He going to go in there and be able to knock Canelo out with some punches that he just don't see coming. Jude, close us out. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, I don't have much. I would just say I love how everyone's predictions are all over the place. Like it's like it really, and that's what's actually making this a little bit more fun. Because at first I was like, I really didn't like this fight at all, and I still really don't. But I pray. I hope the people who are saying that Bud's gonna go in there and knock him out with something he don't see coming. I pray that they are right. I do have my doubts, but I'm praying I'm praying that's what happens. But I get what I can't remember the gentleman who was saying last, well, not the last gentleman, the other one, who was saying that it is rare, like going up in weight, and you do reach a plateau, right? When you can move up only so much, and it is rare that you go up and you beat the champion, right? And I think people kept giving the example of Durant and Sugar Ray Leonard, but even that win was super controversial. Like, I don't know if people ever watched that fight. That first fight, like it was people all in the ring. It was crazy, like because I thought Sugar Ray should have pulled it out, but whatever. But also, just to be clear, Sugar Ray Leonard went in there, abandoned his how he normally fought, and tried to fight beat Durant at what he does, and that's what made the fight closer. Second fight, went in there, dusted him, no mas. It's in history, right? And so, but Durant is seen as a special fighter that he was even able to do that. But when he went up to all the other guys, he got knocked out. And one more thing, I have to do it. I'm sorry, but Boxing Hacker said something about he fought the way Devin fought, and that just bothered my soul because I don't like people disrespecting the legends.
Devin ain't never fought like.
Oh, that bothered my soul when he said that because I just wanted to just double check. So I know I'm not tripping. That fight with Sugar Ray and Duran, the second fight, that only lasted 7 rounds, and just to let you know, Sugar Ray landed more punches in that 7 rounds than Devin threw against Ramirez.
Boxing could just repeat that he heard somebody else.
Please don't ever say that. They did not fight the same way. That was an exciting fight. Sugar Ray with bop. I mean, and Devin only landed jabs. So let's just I get it. That's a sensitive subject for Haney fans, but please don't do that. Don't compare him to Sugar Ray. Stop it. Anyway, I'm hoping that Bomac is right and that Bud is really just like, really much bigger than what we think. And so I'm going there and do his thing. I have my fears about that. I think we also shouldn't underestimate. I do feel like we're underestimating Canelo a little bit. But I pray y'all right, because the way y'all talking, if it just don't go right, this is going to be terrible come Sunday. And that's all I really got for y'all. And y'all have a good Sunday evening.
All right, shout out Juke. Thank you for coming up on the panel. Listen, y'all better be here fight night, because I'm going to be here streaming. We're going to watch the fight. We're going to be talking, laughing. I know how we do on fight night when I come on and we just kick it as buddies watching the fight together. So you don't got to watch the fight alone. Put a 1 in the chat if you're throwing a fight party. Who is throwing a fight party? Listen, I'm just waiting on the fight. I don't have no horse in the race. If Canelo win, cool. If Crawford win, cool. I'm cool either way. But people all on X and they can't even sleep. They having dreams about the fight that they just can't even focus the rest of the week. They feel like they about to get into a fight. And it's always good when, as a fighter, you're able to give your fans that feeling of anticipation, that feeling of looking forward to a fight. Can't wait to see you in the ring and what's going to happen. That's what the boxing fans want. Right? Bud fans can't wait for him to do the impossible. And on September 13th, we're going to see if he's going to be successful and able to do it. Just like Jupe said, these predictions is all over the place. I wouldn't even bet on this fight. I'm not even going to bet on this fight. Well, I take that back. I'll probably bet on 2 or more knockdowns and a draw. I might throw some money on a draw. Maybe bet on a knockdown or 2. But picking a winner? I don't know about that. I'm going to check the odds. But I don't think Canelo is going to get any credit, Jupe. I don't think Canelo really going to get no credit if he beat Crawford. He definitely not going to get none from me. I'm not going to lie to you. You're supposed to beat somebody coming up from 3 weight classes. That's not impressive. But that's just my 2 cents. But listen, y'all be sure to punch the like button before we get up out of here. Let me get a like check. We should be at 100 likes. If you're listening to the replay, make sure you punch the like button. Make sure you let me know and drop it below. And be sure to punch that like and subscribe button if it's your first time here. But listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, cussing you out, timing you out in the chat, leaving you in the background, muting you on the panel, kicking you off the panel, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Thank you.